Recently, I've been reacting to a lot of Australian comedy and really enjoying it. I see a lot of similarities with British comedy, so I love it. And I've been asking for recommendations, getting a lot of recommendations, so thank you very much for that. Someone mentioned this comedy duo called Roy and HG and mentioned a couple of videos. So this is one of them. It's called Roy and HG on Aussies hating Yanks and Kiwis and love from USA athletes. So tell me more about Roy and HG. What your memories of them are, your favourite skit or scene, but let's watch this one.
This week, which has shocked me, he says basically Australians don't like Americans. I think that's the tenor of his thesis. I find it hard to imagine, and as you can hear from the audience,
groaning disbelief.
Groaning disbelief, yes. Could this be true, Roy?
I find it very hard to believe, HG, when it comes... Look.
I mean, I enjoy that sarcasm as someone British. Tell me what you think about Americans.
Look, Australians, New Zealanders and Americans are friends under the one umbrella of ANZUS.
Yes, people forget that.
The ANZUS Pact. We've been in the trenches together over the years. We're very, very good friends. The best friends we have in the world are the New Zealanders and the Americans. But actually, I always say friendship comes at a cost.
Yes. Yes.
And that cost is honesty. You've got to be honest to be a true friend. And while individually Americans are very enjoyable people, modest people, quite lovely people. We've met lovely Americans. Individually, they're very fine. It's just en masse, one can be slightly, I think, critical. They are...
Tell me more about this show. It must have been something to do with the Olympics. What Olympics? Is this like a parody of like sports show hosts?
They are loud, ignorant, self-obsessed, to the point of narcissism. They are inward-looking, barren, uninteresting, and incapable of seeing any of these qualities that so puts the world against them wherever they go. They wonder why they are so disliked. It's just they can't see it, and that is their major stupidity. That is the fatal flaw of Americans. Individually, they're wonderful people, wonderful. It's just in toto. I mean, get any more than two.
He is absolutely roasted America and Americans here.
I'm sorry.
That was good stuff. That was good stuff.
Can you welcome from the United States Athletics team, John Drummond and Lawrence Johnson? I bet you do it once more before he goes.
Yeah. Do you? I noticed with people who leap the bar hate that bloody bar. Do you hate distance or do you hate time?
I hate distance.
You hate distance.
I can't control time. There's no control over time, but I hate distance.
And Lawrence, do you hate the bar?
Days like today, I hate the bar.
You hate the bar.
I hate the bar.
But are you thinking hate when you're about to go, when you're about to unleash down? Are you thinking I hate that?
There's a lot of things you're thinking. You know, I wanted to get you all caught up on a few pole vaulting terms. So the next time you kind of commentate, and you can kind of add some of those things in.
Please.
For instance,
Please.
We have one that's a lot of these techniques. Some of them you've seen here in Sydney. Some of them a little hard, so you haven't quite seen all of them. Like pick the berries. You know, when you come running down the end of the runway, you play at the pole, you get up over the top of the pole, and you sit on the top of the pole as you're going into the pit. That's called picking the berries. Now, if you make a mistake, it's called stabbing the gopher.
Stabbing the gopher?
That doesn't feel too good. So, yeah, you got to be careful with that. You got to really watch for the pros. So, you know. Is that there?
I don't know that.
Is that there?
I want to take that home.
But Lawrence, how many berries would you pick?
You know, I think if you have any more than a couple berries to pick, I think you're probably in some kind of trouble. You know? You might be in the wrong event. You might want to check another profession or something.
We were talking a little bit earlier on in the program. We were reacting to an article written by Wallace Matthews, an American journalist, who suggested that Americans are hated by Australians. And yet, when you arrived tonight, you were saying what a terrific time you were having and how much loved you felt. Now, what's going on here? Who's right?
Well, I'll say this, in much respects to all the volunteers and all the people who gave up their time here, I would say we have had the warmest reception that I've ever experienced. I was in Atlanta in '96, and I mean, you know, America, they treated us beautifully, but I think the fact that you guys don't take yourself so serious and you guys so laid back, you help us enjoy ourselves. And I'll say this, if it wasn't for this show, I'd probably be the gold medalist, because I sat up so many nights and watched this and laughed. It's your fault. I gotta blame somebody. You're the blame. But I'm telling.
So was this some sort of show that went alongside the Sydney Olympics? Is it only that Olympics that this show existed? Seems like a great show, right up my street, really.
You guys are awesome.
Yeah,
And I'm serious, man. I mean, you guys help the athletes. I'm sure athletes all over the village that are watching this are saying to themselves, if it wasn't for you guys allowing us to not take ourselves so serious, because we have spent so much energy, mental energy, not the physical, because that's what we do, but so much mental. We needed a comic relief, and you guys have been it for us.
Look, we promise not to come to Athens, so as you'll be able to get gold and gold. And look, thanks very much for coming in this evening. And on behalf of everybody connected with the Dream, we'd like you to get your hands on these fabulous mementos
I'm gonna cry.
of your time in Sydney.
I wanted this more
And
than the
your
gold
trip.
medal. I got
Okay, man, yeah. So Roy and HG, don't know anything about them, but tell me more about it. I love that format of the show, especially being a huge sports fan. That seems like a great little something to accompany a sporting event. Tell me more about those two as comedians. Do they have any other vehicles they use for their comedy? Maybe I'll watch some more of these episodes. But yeah, tell me what you think about that. Really good stuff. Thanks.